It was a great weekend for our program. The first one we kicked off 6 guys unattached up to the Pointer Open. Those guys, we had a bunch of titles and a bunch of wins, so very very proud of those guys. And then kicking off our home dual meet season. So yesterday we saw a lot of good, and very very good start for our guys, and excited for week 2. So we're getting ready to go to Michigan State Open. We're going to see a lot of Big Ten teams. We're going to see a lot of other Division I teams from other conferences, and just very, very excited to. We're bringing our whole squad, so we'll get to see 26 guys. I think we're bringing 26 of them. We'll see all of them compete.
Questions?
Can you talk a little bit about Shane Legal? Obviously, he's from the area, transfers back. He's got a tradition with his family in this program, and also, I mean, obviously comes from a D3 school, wins his first, match yesterday. What does that kind of mean to you, and how cool is that?
Well, I knew it was going to mean a little bit to me when he committed. And then yesterday I was sitting with him after the match, and he said that was he told the media yesterday that was his dream to walk out on that mat since he's been 12 years old. It actually hit me a little harder yesterday, and it has a little more meaning today. So I've got nothing but the best things to say about Shane. He's one of the hardest workers I've ever been around in my life. He's one of the best kids I've ever been around in my life. I'm just very sad that we only get 1 year with him. So I'm very excited to see how far he can take this dream of his, dream of ours, and run with it. And I think anything is capable with him.
Coach, what did you see in yesterday's duel from the team overall?
We went back and watched. I liked it yesterday when we left the mat, but when I went back today and watched the film, obviously we saw a lot of things that we have to improve on. But the positives were the guys hustled. The guys had a great attitude. When they did make a mistake, they were able to overcome those mistakes with their hustle. And that's all we wanted from them. We told them all week, we don't expect you to be perfect, but we expect you to hustle out there. And they did a great job of that. And they really connected the dots, some of them, with some technical issues. So just very happy with their conditioning, very happy with their attitude, very happy with the way they went about the whole process of making weight for the first time and figuring it out. So again, very excited for this group.
We had a lot of new faces in the lineup. Do you want to talk to us about anything you saw from some of our new guys, not only just the transfers, but even our less experienced wrestlers?
Yeah, we had some guys in the lineup just for some different reasons. 133, we've had a bad injury bug going on. So we had to put in a true freshman, which, we have great rules now that we're allowed to wrestle our freshmen five times without burning the red shirt. And I was very impressed with, Zan Fugit from Missouri. He did a great job, went out there. And, again, you don't know what you're getting when you put true freshmen out there. So I was very, very excited about Zan. And then, again, we've had a bunch of Wisconsin kids transfer back here, and it was very, very emotional for them. We had a social last night after the match, and, talking to their parents and talking to the kids. It was a lot harder on those guys to come back there and put that W on their chest after they've been away for 2, 3, 4 years. And, we didn't get a chance to see Max Mailer, who I'm very, very excited to see compete. He came back from Michigan, transferred back from Michigan, and very excited. And we can't wait to get him back on the mat. And, but they did a great job. I was very happy. Kayla Anderson from Viroqua finally got a chance to put the W on his chest for the first time. And what I'm really proud about is we talk about opportunity and to seize it when it comes. And all those guys got a chance to, again, put that singlet on in front of their hometowns and in that field house, and they all came away with a win. So very, very important.
We're taking a very large roster to the Michigan State Open. This is traditionally, the last few years at least, not been something where we've had a huge contingent because we usually had duels. What are you expecting from the tournament, and what are you hoping to see?
Well, we need matches. I went back and did some evaluation over my career, and my best teams, we wrestled a lot of matches. The trend in the last couple of years have been guys sitting out matches, not wrestling as much, and we kind of fell into that, right? Everybody's afraid to get hurt. The Big Ten season's long. Well, we said the heck with that. We're gonna go wrestle a bunch of matches this year, and this is an opportunity for our guys to go get 5, 6 matches in a weekend. We're bringing everybody. I know some will hold their starters back. They don't want to wrestle tough guys this early in the year. We're bringing everybody. We need a lot of matches. We got to get our young guys up to speed, at the speed at Division I level. We've got to get our transfers that really haven't been starters their whole year to understand what it's like to make weight 2 weekends in a row, 3 weekends in a row, and compete at a high level. So we're going to Michigan State expecting to get a bunch of matches.
This was the first weekend of competition for our guys with the new NCAA rules, big ones being 3-point takedown instead of 2, et cetera. What did you see from that? What did you like about it?
Well, I've been through every scenario. I'm on the rules committee to help make those rules, and I probably have heard from half of the people in the country about these rules, good, bad, and ugly. So I didn't know what to really expect, but I love it, right? 3 points for a takedown. How can you score at the end of periods where you maximize that 3 points and don't give up an escape? So I like the rules. I like change. Let's see how it goes throughout the year. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of the one with reviewing the new review rule. I'm sure will be. When it actually comes into play and things really change, I think that'll be one that people talk about. But the 3-point takedown was wonderful. I heard a bunch of people yelling 3 instead of 2, and it sounded just as good.
We sent 6 guys up to the Pointer Open, a more developmental tournament. What did you like, what you saw from those guys?
Well, we came home with a bunch of titles and, again, a bunch of matches. We had one guy, you're only allowed to wrestle 6 matches in one day. And we had our guy get all 6 matches and then had to pull out of the tournament because you're not allowed that 7th match. So that's very important for these guys. But the more important is we got film on them. So we were up there watching them compete a little bit, but we got film on them. We can sit down with these guys that don't get to wrestle a whole bunch and figure out how to get them better. Because we saw them compete, and I liked what I saw. We had a bunch of titles. We had guys fighting through some injuries to keep going. In the tournament, little nicks and bruises and cuts, and told me a lot about these guys. So we had one guy, our heavyweight from Green Bay who hasn't wrestled since high school. He's now on his 5th year. He played football at Rice, went out there and got a win. So that was very, it's very, very exciting for him and for us that he can come out and do that. So I saw a lot of good.
Last question is just there's with so many, we have had the new transfers, we had a number of new freshmen as well coming into the program in the last couple of years from locally in Wisconsin, large contingent from Stoughton, right nearby. What are you seeing in terms of the roots being developed by the program with the larger group of wrestlers from the area? Yeah,
it's wonderful. Well, there's a tradition of great wrestlers in the state of Wisconsin, and especially from the Stoughton area. And I'm more than excited to throw. Did we throw 5 of them out there last night? We threw 5 of them out there, I think, last night from Wisconsin. And, man, the support that we're getting from these local towns, just my inbox has been blowing up. And people, are fired up that we have Wisconsin kids out there competing in that field house. And there's a tradition in that field house. I had one of the guys come up to me and said, I'm still undefeated in the field house because of the state dual meet championships and all the times that he's wrestled in there. So it means something to these kids. And then when, like I said, when Shane said it was a dream of his to walk out there, since he's it's unbelievable. So there's kids out there in the state of Wisconsin that want to compete here. We got to go make them Badgers, and that's our goal every day.